Now there are a few different things that you'll need to do before you start the lawnmower up, just to give it a test run. Now we've cleaned it off. A lot of people are unsure where to check the oil. Now on this model, the oil, you can check it by undoing this dipstick here. It's right at the back of the engine, as you can see. So we'll just give it a lift up. As you can see, there's oil in there already. It doesn't look particularly clean, but it's not too bad. Just clean the dipstick off, pull it out, and as you can see, there's enough in there to test the mower with. Now you must do that, because if you pick one of these up and the oil's been drained out of it and you attempt to start it, you're going to have a lot of problems with the engine. You could end up damaging the engine. So it's always best to check there's some oil in there first. Now I've just been outside and started up this lawnmower, and it did start quite well. However, after about a minute of running, it was puffing out all sorts of white smoke and making a real mess really, and it wasn't running correctly. Now I know from experience from doing these lawnmowers that the common problem of it revving up and down and what you might call hunting, I know the solution for that. But before I undertake that, there's something else I always do, and I always remove the engine cover and just clean out any dirt and debris. So I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video. So to remove the engine cover on this lawnmower, there are 3 bolts on this one. There's one that's here on the back, there's one that's here on the side, which also holds the exhaust guard in place. As you can see, it's just a little bit loose. It looks like someone's already had a bit of a mess with that. And there's also one on the front that wants removing, which is here. Now with safety in mind, I've just removed the spark plug lead, just to keep it nice and tightly out of the way as we don't want any accidents. So I'm going to remove those now, and we'll take a look underneath and clean out any debris. Now with the 3 bolts removed, you can simply lift this engine cover off and just pull it out of the way. So with the engine cover removed, you can now see the internal parts of the machine. You can see it's not too bad. Sometimes you'll open these up and it'll be covered in grass in here and there'll be a real mess. Once again, the spark plug is unplugged just for safety, and there'll be all sorts of grass and dirt and debris. This one isn't too bad. Now this bit's called the governor flap, and that will alter the speed of the mower when it's running. This is called your ignition coil or armature, and in the DVD that I do sell, it will tell you how to adjust and how to fit this. So one of the quickest ways to get under it is just to unscrew this with a fly-headed screwdriver, which I've started off, and just remove the air filter box. There's a big long screw in here, so we'll just undo that and pull that long one out. Now there's a simple way of telling if this mower's been tipped the wrong way. If you tip this one over, which I haven't done yet, it's not clean, but if the mower had been tipped the wrong way, all the parts in here, this will be black, it will be filled with oil. So at least this mower hasn't been tipped the wrong way, which is probably why it still runs. Now in these parts you'll see the governor springs. These are the governor springs that set the speed of the mower when it's running, and inside here there's a gasket and diaphragm. Now all these things combined need to be perfectly adjusted, otherwise you'll have problems with the lawnmower revving up and down. Now I'm going to start with this lawnmower. I'm going to change the diaphragm and gasket in here, and hopefully that'll stop this mower revving up and down. If not, it could be the governor springs, or it could be the magneto. All these things I'm talking about are covered in the DVD, which is available online. I'll put a little link to it at the end of the video. But right now I'm going to start doing some repairs on this. I'm going to put another diaphragm and gasket as covered on the DVD in this petrol tank and carburetor. Now to change a diaphragm and gasket set, what you need to do is we'll need to remove the petrol tank and the carburetor. Before I do that, I just wanted to show you something. If I just have a quick look in here, these are the governor springs, and I can already tell by looking at this small one here, if you can see the end of it there, that someone's already had a real mess about with this to see if they can get it running a bit better. And really that's not going to work from what I've seen before. It can make a difference, but it's not going to fix the problem. So there's a fault there. So to do this correctly, the tank needs to be removed, the carburetor needs to be removed. Now to do that, there's a series of events to go through, and it might look quite difficult, but actually on the DVD I'll show you how to do it, and you can do this in less than sort of 5-10 minutes. And sort of 8 times out of 10 it will cure the problem with the lawnmower if it's revving up and down. If it's doing other things like surging and doing different things, there are other fixes that we can do. But basically it involves undoing this bolt, taking all the springs off. It involves taking the carburetor off the petrol tank and replacing the gasket and diaphragm, which might sound quite difficult. And without a detailed video it's very easy to get it wrong because there's all sorts of seals in here. But you'll see on the DVD that we've got that it's pretty simple to do once you've done it. Once you've watched the DVD and say you've done it once, I'm sure you could do it again. It's very easy, and I can probably do it in less than 5 minutes. Fit a new diaphragm and gasket and put it back together. But there are certain little tips and tricks that you need to know when you're taking it apart, which enables you to get it back together easily and correctly. Because there's no point doing this repair and putting it back together if it isn't correctly, because you'll still have the same fault.